The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of Lexington Community Radio or its board of directors. The views expressed are solely those of the programmers.
You are listening to Off the Cuff. Now, here's your host, Adam Banks.
Welcome, everybody, to Off the Cuff. I am Adam Banks coming at you live from Lexington, Kentucky. Thank you for listening to the show, and thank you for tuning in to WLXU 93.9 FM. In addition to listening to us on the radio, you can check out our Facebook live stream at Off the Cuff with Adam Banks, or you can download the Radio Lex app on your smartphone device to listen to us anywhere in the entire world. You can also stream the show live on the website at radiolex.us. Amber Turner and I are both broadcasting from the Deborah Hensley Studios here at Radio Lex on North Limestone. It is January the 26th, 2023. Amber, this is our last show of January. It's been quite a January. I turned 35.
It's already the end of January?
Already.
Wow.
And here we are. I got to do something really fun last night. I went and watched an AEW wrestling show.
I know, I saw.
You saw on my social media. I want to just give you my thoughts on it.
Okay.
Because we both are wrestling fans. It's a straight-up copy of what WWE was trying to be in the early or the late 90s.
Well, absolutely.
They had the Titantron, they had the ramp. If you would have just taken away the banners that said Dynamite or what's the other show that they have? Something else. If you would have just taken away the AEW banners, it would have looked like an old Monday Night Raw show back in '99, which I'm all for it.
Yeah.
But you can't carbon copy somebody else and expect the same result.
Well, now look, I remember people used to get mad that they would bring back older wrestlers in the WWE, I guess, era. And then did I see Sting walking out?
Yeah, Sting was there.
Okay.
Sting was there. Chris Jericho was there. And
okay.
B.A. Billy Gunn.
No, get out of here, Billy.
And you had a few people. Jim Ross was there. But what's crazy is Jim Ross he's not the main guy on the main show.
Yeah.
He's on their B show.
Well, I mean,
has he gotten that old?
I mean, I don't know if it's that old or if he burned so many bridges. I don't know.
But it was a good time just to see wrestling. They don't sell out the arena like they used to.
Absolutely not.
They curtain off the upper arena and everything's lower.
Yeah.
I guess to make it look like a lot of people showed up.
Like it's fuller.
But it was still nice just to see some old school wrestling.
Yeah.
It was fun. But, Amber, a lot has been happening just since the last time we got off the air. The 2023 Oscar nominations were announced.
I know.
Are you going to be attending the Oscars this year?
Not this year. I guess my invitation got lost in the mail. I'm hoping next year they don't forget.
Well, I'm hosting next year.
Okay, well, hopefully you better not forget. I know where you live.
Well, that's the goal, is to host the Oscars next year. But the Oscar nominations were released. Now, you can get a complete list of the Oscar nominations on Off the Cuff's Facebook page at Off the Cuff with Adam Banks. But I would like to go over the major nominees for this year's Academy Awards, the big Hollywood night. So for Best Picture, Amber, have you seen any of these movies? The Banshees of Inisherin.
That's a no.
All Quiet on the Western Front. Elvis.
Yes, actually. I'm in the process of watching it.
Did you like it?
So far, yeah.
Avatar. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
Except I ain't seen it.
The Fablemans.
Yeah.
Have you seen it?
No, I haven't. It must be a fable.
Tar.
Wait, tar like a tar on your car?
T-A-R.
I ain't got a clue. Nope.
Top Gun Maverick.
I have, actually.
Did you like it?
I did.
It's a great movie. Triangles of Sadness and Women Talking.
Oh, well, that sounds like me every day.
Women Talking.
Women Talking and Triangles of Sadness.
Yeah. Well, those are your major movie nominations. Best Director, Steven Spielberg, I saw was nominated in there. For The Fablemans, it's rare when you see an iconic recognizable name in the Best Director category. I feel like that the Oscars is always trying to be more inclusive, and and it's rare when you hear somebody who's real iconic and famous being nominated these days.
It is, actually.
So it's nice to see he was in there. I saw on the Best Lead Actor category that Austin Butler from Elvis got nominated. That's the only performance I seen. Actually, no, I seen Brendan Fraser's The Whale.
Yes.
Did you like that?
I haven't watched it, but I want to.
It was good. It just wasn't Oscar worthy.
Yeah, well,
I can see why he got nominated, but I think Austin Butler will secure that.
Yeah.
The guy with...
I mean, he's still talking like Elvis,
yes.
So might as well go ahead.
Yeah, he's pretty much transformed himself into Elvis. Best Lead Actress, nobody on there really that I heard of. I mean, Cate Blanchett, I've heard of. Anna de Armas, Andrea Riseborough, Michelle Williams, and...
You know her.
What is she from?
Michelle Williams, Dawson's Creek, was married to Heath Ledger.
Oh,
Michelle Williams.
Oh, she's back.
Yeah.
Was
she
never
went nowhere.
She was on H2O Halloween.
Yeah.
Yes. I didn't know she was back.
Yeah.
Best Supporting Actor, Judd Hirsch, Brendan Gleeson, Brian Tyree Henry, Barry Keoghan. Have you heard any of these guys? Yes. Best Supporting Actress, Angela Bassett.
Hey, there we go.
Making a comeback on the Oscar front. She was nominated for Black Panther and Wakanda Forever. Jamie Lee Curtis, Amber, got her first Oscar nomination ever.
Ever? Well.
To be in so many great movies and to have so many good performances, she's never been nominated for a Academy Award.
I mean, I guess in their defense, she usually does do a lot of horror, and you don't always see horror movies be, brought up at the Oscars.
Exactly. That's true.
It's a tragedy, but...
It's rare. I know that sometimes you do. I know Get Out was nominated a couple years ago. The Sixth Sense was nominated for an Oscar for Best Picture. So rarely you see it. It's got to be a movie, if it's scary, that wows people.
I think those are more like psychological thrillers and not the slashers, that she was kind of always in.
But when I saw that, it just kind of brought to my attention that there are a lot of Hollywood actors out there, a lot of iconic actors out there that have been in many big roles but have never won an Oscar. And it made me start thinking of some of the biggest Oscar snubs of all time. Now, ever since 1929, that's when the Oscars first happened, there's been snubs. Snubs is what you call, that's the word for when somebody should have got it but didn't.
Yeah.
So I feel like there's been a lot of people that you might think has won an Oscar, but in reality hasn't. For instance, Alfred Hitchcock never won an Academy Award. I mean, he's been nominated several times for Best Director nominations for Rebecca, Lifeboat, Spellbound, Rear Window, and Psycho, but never won one.
Well.
Did you know that the movie E.T. doesn't have any Oscars for it?
Not even for director?
You've got 2 Oscars that they won. Best Original Score, they won a couple. They won Best Original Score, Best Visual Effects, Best Sound, and Best Sound Effects.
Okay.
As far as like the Best Picture, wasn't even nominated.
Well.
Yes. Well, it was nominated, just didn't win.
Yeah.
So major awards for E.T., none. Glenn Close never won an Oscar. She holds the record for having the most nominations with no wins. She's got 8 nominations, 0 wins.
Well.
The Shawshank Redemption.
Oh, that's a good one.
Remember that one?
Uh-huh.
It landed 7 nominations in 1995 and went home empty-handed.
Woo.
John Hughes.
Uh-huh.
John Hughes, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, he's done films like The Breakfast Club, Pretty in Pink, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, National Lampoon's Vacation, Home Alone. The man's never been nominated for an Oscar.
I don't believe in the Oscars anymore.
Amy Adams, she's kind of a newer actress. She's been nominated 6 times for an Academy Award and has never won.
She sounded like Mark Stoops.
The Princess Bride, the movie with Andre the Giant.
That's a good one.
1987, Rob Reiner directed Little Jim, only took home one. It was only nominated for 1 Oscar, and that was Best Original Song.
Okay, for what song in there?
Yeah, well, I've not seen the movie.
I don't remember any music in it.
It received 1 nod, and it was for the song. Peter O'Toole has 8 nominations and 8 defeats.
Oh, gosh.
Judy Garland, ladies and gentlemen, has never won an Oscar. She's been nominated twice, but never actually won. She was awarded an honorary Oscar in the 40s for just, I guess, her work. But she never won an Oscar for any of her portrayals in her movies. And ironically, Renee Zellweger won a Best Actress Oscar in 2020 for portraying Judy Garland.
Well,
Goodfellas, one of my favorite movies, ladies and gentlemen, has never... it was nominated.
Yeah.
Pesci did win Best Supporting Actor.
Yeah.
But Martin Scorsese, he didn't win an Oscar for that. He wouldn't win an Oscar until 2007.
For?
The Departed.
Okay.
Good
Leonardo?
movie. Yes.
Okay.
Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
Matt Damon.
Okay.
Lots of others.
I see why they won.
Brokeback Mountain.
There we go.
Never won an Oscar.
Well, I mean, I kind of know why.
Nominated for several. It was actually the favorite.
Yeah.
It was the favorite to win Best Picture. It won the Golden Globe for Best Picture. So usually when the Golden Globe goes to the Best Drama or whoever they hand the Golden Globe to, that's kind of the shoe-in for the Oscar. Didn't win it.
This movie brought way too much heat. I think that one was just a safe call.
Saving Private Ryan in 1999 took home 0 Oscars.
Wow, did I watch? Is that Tom Hanks?
Tom Hanks.
Okay, yeah, I watched that one.
And then finally, ladies and gentlemen, we can't leave off the list Jim Carrey. I think one of the biggest Oscar snubs of all time. He was nominated for his role in The Truman Show and Man on the Moon. He won the Golden Globe both times, Best Actor, for both The Truman Show and Man on the Moon, but did not even receive an Oscar nomination.
That's sad.
He's never been nominated for an Oscar.
Wow.
Jim Carrey, the most iconic comedian of all time, never had an Oscar nod.
Oh.
So I'm sure, folks, that there's a lot of people that you like out there, and you may think, oh, they've probably got 10, 15 Oscars under their belt. It's actually really hard to win an Oscar, and you will be surprised of who has an Oscar and who doesn't. But the Academy Awards, we'll talk more about that once it happens, because I'm sure there'll be another slap around the world, right?
Oh, I hope not.
I mean, that's what made the Oscars worth watching last year.
Well, maybe they'll one-up it this year.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, stick with us. We will be right back. Welcome back, everybody, to Off the Cuff. Adam Banks here with you. Amber is also in studio with me. I know you remember this song.
No, I absolutely do not. This was way after our time.
No!
Yes!
Earlier in 2022, ladies and gentlemen, this became the first YouTube video to reach 10 billion views. And listen here, as of December 2022, it has seen 11.65 billion times, earning some $22 million.
Oh my jeez.
In contrast, the pop sensation Ed Sheeran's biggest hit, Shape of You, has just been seen 5.8 billion times. This has been seen 11.6 billion.
Yeah.
The most watched YouTube video of all time. This was a video that was created for children, the Baby Shark dance video. I mean, that is crazy that this song has lasted that long. I mean, and it's been around for just a couple of years.
Yeah.
And it popped up on my recommended video on YouTube when I was
terrible.
Trying to find some new music.
What have you been watching to get that?
I don't know. But I went down a rabbit hole, of course.
Yeah.
And I started thinking about this song and how popular it was for kids. And it made me start thinking of what was popular when we were kids. And we both love music.
Absolutely.
We're both fans of music, and we know that music can make a bad day better. Music can get you out of depression. Music can really just change your mood.
Absolutely.
So music is very important. And what's wild about music, which I believe is a gift from God, what I believe is wild about music is we've been listening to music since we were babies, since we were children. I mean, you got to think. Our first introduction to music was the children songs that we heard. And it made me start thinking, Amber, of some of the most famous children's songs throughout time. And, you know, of course you have Baby Shark. I was always a fan of this one. She'll be coming around the mountain. when she comes. When I was a kid, I always just thought of my grandma when I heard this song.
I think that's who you sing it to me.
Amber, there's many songs that we listened to as kids. Did you listen to this one?
You know I did.
As a child, our first introduction to music is songs like this. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. Another song that you could sing in Sunday school.
No, I think that's actually where I used to sing this at.
What about this one? Old MacDonald had a farm. It's wild that MacDonald is such a unique, rare last name, but as kids, we grew up so familiar with that name because of, one, the restaurant, and two,
Old MacDonald.
Old MacDonald. It's in our children's song list.
Uh-huh.
This is a very educational song, too. You know what the animals sound like.
Yeah.
This was always one of my favorite children's songs right here.
The wheels on the bus go round and round, round and round, round and round. The wheels on the bus go round and round.
Hey, now this is a great song that you can teach to your little ones about transportation. It's very catchy, so kids will sing along with this song pretty easily. Swish, swish, swish. Do you remember this one, Amber?
There were some kids who had a dog and Bingo was his name. B-I-N-G.
Everyone knows and loves Bingo the dog. This is a catchy tune. It's fun to dance and sing with your kids too. And this teaches kids about letters and rhythm. You notice how a lot of children's songs are educational and they have a purpose.
Yes.
To teach us things.
That's the easiest way, I think, to get through to children is make it a little funner.
Now, you might only remember this from Fergie, but this goes way back when we were just little lads. London Bridge is falling down. It's a little grim, but it's catchy. I think every baby in the universe knows this song right here. Don't you love it when everybody's trying to play patty cake, baker's man with a kid? They're like, roll them up, baby. Roll them up.
Mark it with a B, baby.
Patty cake, baker's man.
I was always a fan of this song right here.
Roll, roll, roll your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 life is but a
It's a simple song that's probably been stuck in your head before, because I know it's been stuck in my head, and you're welcome, because this song will probably be stuck in your head the rest of the day, folks.
Living rent free.
I remember singing this particular song in school a lot, Amber.
You put your one hand in, you put your one hand out, you put your one hand in, and you shake it off.
The Hokey Pokey was a song that was very popular amongst children. I know that schools probably like to use this because it's interactive. It's energetic. It gets the kids moving. It's kind of a dance you got to follow along to.
You gotta pay attention.
This was kind of our introduction to future songs that we would have to learn, like the Macarena and the Cha-Cha Slide.
Then crank that soldier boy.
And Crank That Soldier Boy. Stanky Leg.
Oh, gosh.
This one, Mary Had a Little Lamb, was the first song that I ever learned how to play on the piano. It only takes three buttons, 3 keys to play.
Yeah.
And everywhere that Mary went, Mary went, Mary went. 5 little monkeys jumping.
5 Little Monkeys Jumping on a Bed is another one.
Fell off and bumped it.
This is a great song to remember numbers, to learn numbers.
Monkeys jumping on the bed.
Because it's a math song.
Jumping on the bed. One fell off and
Bumped his head.
See, this song just taught me not to jump on the bed. Like, don't do it.
This song right here is fun.
Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. Head,
This is a great song to sing and help educate younger kids,
eyes and ears.
but it can also be a fun song. Make it a race to see who can sing the song and do the movements the quickest.
Tummies, arms and chins, arms and chins.
This is a song that you can play with adults as well. If you're trying to think of an icebreaker at a meeting, have everybody play along with head, shoulders, knees, and toes.
Hands, fingers, legs.
This is an iconic, famous children's song.
Itsy bitsy spider crawled up the water spout. Down came the rain and washed the spider out. Oh no, out came the sun.
This is a good song for sign language learning. You can
And the
show somebody a story through movement and not just words. That's what I liked a lot about this little gem right here.
great
What about this sweet song right here? A sweet, sweet nursery rhyme.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up
I feel like that if you wanted to sing a song to your kid, this is the one to do it. If you want to send them off into La La Land, this is the one to do it, because this song makes me sleepy.
little star, how I wonder what you are.
What about this one?
1, 2, buckle my shoe.
3, 4, shut the door. 5, 6, pick up sticks. 7, 8,
lay them straight.
9, 10.
Begin again.
There we go.
I thought it was a big fat hen.
You said that with so much conviction in your face, and I know nobody else can see that, but
It said try again. I thought it was a big 9, 10, a big fat hen.
well, it's 2023 and eggs cost too much. No more big fat hens.
1, 2, buckle my
What about this one right here? A famous children's song.
It's raining, it's pouring, the old man is snoring. He went to bed and bumped his head, couldn't get up in the
There are so many. There's this one.
The ants go marching one by one, hurrah, hurrah.
Amber knows this one, folks.
Go marching one by one, hurrah, hurrah.
There are several
Ants go
others that we
marching
didn't
one
get
by
to
one.
mention.
The little one stops
There
to
is
come and they all go
When the Saints Go Marching In. There is Baa Baa Black Sheep. There is Jack and Jill. There is Humpty Dumpty. There is Hickory Dickory Dock. I'm a Little Teapot. Rockabye Baby. Hush Little Baby. Would you agree that those two, Hush Little Baby and Rockabye Baby, are the two most iconic nursery rhymes?
1000%.
And then finally, Ring Around the Rosie.
Ooh.
Pocket full of posies. Ashes, ashes, we all fall down.
Very morbid song.
It is.
Yes.
But I think we all can be in agreement that the first song that we probably ever learned in our lives was this one right here.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L,
The alphabet song, ladies and gentlemen.
Q, R, S, T, U,
Of course, music helps students learn better. We've been doing it ever since we were 2 years old. We learned the ABCs through music, through a song. That's why you have all of these nursery rhymes and these children's songs that are very educational, and it teaches kids something. But I always thought it was amazing that music has been around in our lives for so long, ever since we were just babies. That's why it's important. That's why it's proof, folks, that music touches the soul, because we have it even as kids.
Is it bad that when I don't remember the order of the alphabet, I still sing this song?
Oh, I think everybody does.
If you don't, let me know, because that you're weird.
I still count on my fingers, Amber, when I am trying to add stuff up.
Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. It's when you kick your shoes off and start with your toes. That's when you got problems.
Yeah.
So just get your calculator out.
But that, ladies and gentlemen, was a list of some of the most famous children's songs throughout time. I was looking here at the next topic. Very kid-heavy show today.
Oh.
Very kid-heavy show. So if we have any young listeners, this was the episode for you to tune into.
Okay.
So that was a topic for you. It's very rarely that here at Off the Cuff with Adam Banks, we can have a topic just for the youngins.
Hey, you made a whole show for me.
I think, no, what's great about talking, even about young children's songs or young toys, it's still universal because every adult in the world was at one point in time a child.
A kid.
Every adult in the world has heard these songs. Every adult in the world at one point in time was sang these songs to sleep. They sung them to their kid. You've heard them. You can't deny them. That was your first introduction into music.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why I thought that everybody would enjoy these. But ladies and gentlemen, stick with us. We still have lots more Off the Cuff with Adam Banks coming at you live after these words.
I love you, you love me. We're a happy family with a great big hug and a kiss from me to you. Won't you say you love me too?
Welcome back, everybody, to Off the Cuff. Adam Banks here with you. Amber is also in studio with me. This could have made the list.
It could have, actually.
I love you, you love me.
We're a happy family.
It's a very recognizable song. You would be hard-pressed to find someone who doesn't know where this song came from.
Now, you wouldn't be hard-pressed to find people who tell you they don't know the song, though.
A lot of people won't admit it.
Exactly. Quit lying.
Don't you hate that?
Hey, quit lying. You ain't fooling nobody.
And it's not like it's... I mean, you're embarrassed of what you watched when you were a kid?
You were embarrassed because you were a child once? Oh, my goodness.
There have been a lot of interactive children's songs or children's shows throughout time, and Barney was one of them. I mean, we had Sesame Street.
That was a good one.
Mr. Rogers, Dora the Explorer, Thomas the Train, Teletubbies, and then, folks, there was Barney.
Ooh.
Barney, can't leave off Blue's Clues.
I do like Blue's Clues.
Can't leave off Blue's Clues. But Barney, ladies and gentlemen, was at one point larger than life.
Literally.
In the 90s, the big purple dinosaur, he had a show called Barney and Friends, and it was a show that come on after school. It was targeted towards kids. It was an interactive learning show. But Amber, I watched a new docuseries that was put on the Peacock Network, and it was called I Love You, You Hate Me. And it was about the beloved children's show Barney and Friends. And it talked about the dark side of Barney.
Ooh.
There was a dark side from Barney and Friends, and it wasn't necessarily that Barney was scandalous or Barney did anything mean. It was the people that made Barney so dark.
The fans, or I guess non-fans.
Yes, it was the hate, the overwhelming reaction for Barney was negative reaction. It was insane of how many people hated Barney the dinosaur. They couldn't stand him.
And they did not mind to tell children, even if they were adults.
It says here that in the documentary, Barney's widespread phenomenon made him a child's favorite friend and an adult's worst nightmare.
Which I never understood.
I didn't get it either. It wasn't even for the adults.
And what's wrong with me sitting in front of the TV watching a purple dinosaur while you go do your thing?
Right.
Yeah, let me live.
Why did it bother adults so bad to even have an opinion on Barney when they're not watching it?
Well, I mean, I think in that docuseries, it has that one dude that said he was jealous because his daughter was giving more attention to the Barney than she was to him. And I'm like, first of all, that's gross that you would go that far. But second of all, oh my goodness.
That is gross.
That's too much.
Bill Nye and Steve Burns, who hosted Blue's Clues, they tried to unravel why Barney faced so much ridicule and hatred. And it said that they believe that Barney posed a lot of controversy. A lot of people thought he was gay.
Yeah.
So a lot of people had homophobia because of his femininity and his voice.
Yeah.
They thought he was gay. So a lot of people hated him for that. So they showed a lot of homophobia towards Barney.
So he was nice, so people hated him because he was nice.
Parental jealousy.
Yeah.
Which is what Amber was just talking about. And then the culture's dry cut sense of humor at the time. Mm-hmm. So every time period is different. Mm-hmm. And Barney just did not favor well at all.
No.
In the 90s or 2000s with adults.
No, because that was the 90s. It was grunge and all of that. People just wanted Havoc at that time, and he was the exact opposite of Havoc.
It says here that the show was created in 1992 by Cheryl Leach. And Cheryl Leach created the show for her son. Mm-hmm. She said she wanted something for him to watch.
She did.
So she created her own show, and that son grew up to eventually shoot somebody.
That was the neighbor, I think.
He shot his neighbor and ended up going to jail. I think that he's out of jail.
I would say, yeah.
Money and power can do a lot for you.
Yeah.
But it just kind of added to the whole dark side of Barney.
Oh, my goodness.
The creator of Barney's son getting arrested, shooting somebody.
And then, the whole premise was love and compassion, and to see, where that love and compassion got, the biggest target, which was her son.
It says here that 30 years after the release of the first episode of Barney and Friends, it says that this documentary, it's the first time that they've ever talked about the rise and fall of the plush dinosaur.
Yeah.
You won't see Cheryl, the creator of Barney, in this documentary, nor her son, but you will see the original Barney in the documentary. Now, there are two different people who made Barney work.
Yes.
There was the voice of Barney, and then there was the body of Barney. And the body of Barney, his name was David Joyner.
Yeah.
David Joyner, ladies and gentlemen, now in his current job, I want to get this right. He teaches
tantric
sex.
Yes.
Tantric energy.
Intimacy. There we go.
What is that?
It is a...
I just assumed Amber would know.
I mean, I do know. Did you never watch American Pie? Tantra, that's what...
Back when I was not allowed to, yes.
That's what Finch was always trying to do. No, it's just, it's kind of like a philosophy that is used to increase pleasure.
Yeah, okay. That's, ironically, what the body of Barney does.
Hey, but was that the first body of Barney? I think there were two, weren't there?
There might have been more throughout the years, but...
Well, I think it was just, there was the first guy that came in for the first season, and then this man was the rest of the time. So I think we seen him the rest of the time.
Yes, the guy we grew up with was David Joyner. Here is a clip of an interview of David Joyner talking about playing Barney.
I gotta hear the voice.
Well, I didn't do the voice.
Oh, you didn't do the voice?
Okay. There was a guy who did the voice at the same time. Because to move Barney's mouth, there's a bar pad with a sponge, trade secret, don't tell anybody.
Okay.
I'm biting on the sponge, gripping the sponge, nodding my head up and down. So imagine every syllable is a nod. And I'm hearing the voice at the same time. Now I have to do the acting, the mannerisms, the gestures, the emotions. I got to worry about the blocking, the camera, the lights. Barney's 6'7", he's got a long tail. I can't go on set destroying the set. So what I would do, I'd use energy. I'd close my eyes, I'd feel. I knew exactly where things were. So I can feel the energy. So when I walked on the set, I knew where things were when I'm in the costume. Yeah.
I thought that is cool.
Even though he's not the voice, he just comforted me so much just then. Same as he did 30 years ago.
Because, Amber, he teaches energy.
Yes.
He did the Barney character using energy. Mm-hmm. Energy is not a fake thing.
No.
It's not a fake, false thing.
No.
You can feel his energy when you pull him up on a screen. Mm-hmm. I feel that Barney energy right now listening to him speak. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't really just his voice, it was just the energy that he gives off.
Aura that he puts off.
But speaking of the voice of Barney, his name was Bob West. He was the original voice of Barney. Here is Bob West talking about playing Barney.
There was a group called the Jihad Against Barney. middle school kids would send me emails and say that they were going to find me and they were going to kill me. That's really sad.
Ain't that sad?
That's crazy.
And ain't that scary?
I wasn't doing that in middle school.
And it's wild hearing Barney talk like that, too.
Mm-hmm.
He sounds like,
normal.
You can tell it's Barney, but he sounds very normal.
No pizzazz.
And it's sad that he got death threats from middle schoolers.
From little kindergartners.
Yes. But the documentary, folks, I recommend this watch because it talks about just the dark side of, I don't want to say the dark side of Barney, but the dark side of humanity.
I think that's a great way to put it. I really do, because I think it shows that, we're always interested in the dark side. We've got dark side of the ring, dark side of comedy. We always want the nitty gritty. Something had to happen. And with this, nothing happened. It was just a show that they created that was good and wholesome for children. And for some reason, grown adults didn't like it.
Shocker!
Yay! There you go.
Get over it, folks. But it really was a good show. Wade says on the show thread he's throwing in some interactive shows. Mr. Rogers, which we talked about. Captain Kangaroo, he says.
Yeah.
I don't remember that one.
That was before our time, but you've never just seen Captain Kangaroo?
No.
Yes. You have to pull him up on the YT.
All right, I'll have to do that. But yes, the dark side of Barney streaming on the Peacock Network. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take Off the Cuff's song of the week break. Enjoy a little Creepin' by Metro Boomin, The Weeknd, and 21 Savage. We'll be back after the song.
Somebody said they saw you. You get better off that way.
I love it when they take an old school song and they include it into a more modern mix.
Oh, yes.
Like they did with this one.
And that's a good one.
I don't want to know. And that's true. There's a lot of things that you can go out and do, and I know it's bad, and it's just like I don't want to know. There's some things we don't need to know.
Well, you said something to me one time that stuck with me. If you go looking for it, you finna find it. So if you don't want to know, don't go looking.
Yeah, because you will find it. I was having a conversation with somebody the other day about this, and that's so true. If you go looking for something, you will find it. Like you might find a message that was in your boyfriend, girlfriend's phone that you didn't like because it was an ex that said, "Hey, how are you?" And all of a sudden, they're talking 4 or 5 sentences. Mm-hmm. In reality, it means nothing. He was just walking down the road one day or walking around work, and his ex-girlfriend texted him, and he just was being nice and texted back. Nothing was really going on, so he just did not feel the need to see it or tell you about it. But when you go and looking for stuff and you find it, then there's a problem.
Exactly, because the story, there's always 3 sides to the story: the truth, the lie, and then what really happened.
But even if it wasn't anything happening, when you go and look for something, you've all of a sudden now created a problem.
Well, because you've already broken the trust. Trust isn't there. You do not trust your partner. What's the point in being together if you do not trust your partner?
That sounds like a miserable time.
Exactly.
If you don't trust them?
No. Could you imagine going to sleep every night beside somebody you don't trust? Wiley, I trust you.
That's a very vulnerable place to be, in the bed asleep.
Yeah.
So you better hope you trust the person.
Especially if you pop a Benadryl at night like me.
Yes. But ladies and gentlemen, we still have one more segment to go, so stick with us. We will be right back.
It don't matter to me wherever we are, where I wanna be. And honey, for once in our lives, let's take our chances and roll the dice. I can be your lucky penny, you can be my 4-leaf clover, starting over.
Welcome back, everybody, to Off the Cuff. Adam Banks here with you. Amber is also in studio with me. Last segment of the hour. Chris Stapleton, ladies and gentlemen, who is singing this song as I come in to this segment, will be performing at this year's Super Bowl. He'll be performing the national anthem. This is a Kentucky-born native. Where's he from?
Paintsville? Ain't it Paintsville? Or Louisa, or...
Louisa, I feel like, has the bulk of the country stars today. Tyler Childers, I know that Noah Thompson's from there. So we'll go with Paintsville.
I think it is Paintsville.
For Chris Stapleton. Yeah, so...
Gosh, that whole little area. You got Loretta Lynn, Dwight Yoakam.
Patty Loveless.
Oh, goodness.
Patty Loveless.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Isn't that just that one little Slice of heaven.
Hey, man, there's so much talent in these mountains.
There is.
There's so much talent in this state. This state is full of talent.
We appreciate music here.
We appreciate the arts.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about the arts. I'll definitely go with music.
A few of us do.
Oh, yeah.
Chris Stapleton, yes, singing at the Super Bowl this year, national anthem. We did a whole segment on the worst national anthem performances of all time, and you can check that out in our archives. Who do you think was the best? I remember, if you go back and listen to that show, I said Whitney Houston had the best national anthem.
Yeah.
Who was yours? Best national anthem of all time you've ever heard?
Oh, my goodness, I don't know. I could tell you who's not, and that's Roseanne.
Roseanne Barr.
Yeah, I can tell you that.
Who made the list on that episode for one of the best or one of the worst?
What is that? There is a young lady from back home.
Marlena Van Hoos?
Yes, I do enjoy when she sings. I really, really do.
Yeah. Very powerful voice.
Very.
Yeah, I think a lot of people enjoy her.
Yes.
She sings like all over the state.
I love that you knew her name.
Marlena Van Hoos?
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to bring Marlena on the show. How cool would it be to bring Marlena on the show and have her sing live the national anthem?
Oh, my goodness.
We'll start the show out with her singing the national anthem. I feel like I would feel very patriotic doing that.
Very.
We could start the show out with the national anthem, and then we'll interview her.
Yeah.
Or we can interview her and end the show with the national anthem.
How about we start it with the anthem, interview, then end it with the anthem, because everybody likes a double dose of good.
Yes.
Okay.
But, Amber, before we go here, let's talk about the Scream 6 trailer that was released. They released the official Scream 6 trailer. Now, they have a teaser, of course, that they released, but they finally released a full-length trailer. Some things in it that makes me scared, makes me excited. I can't wait to see it. We know that Neve Campbell is not returning as the main character of Sidney Prescott.
Unfortunately.
So it's going to really come down to this new cast that they had from the last movie and another legacy character, one of the only sole survivors of the whole series. She's been in all 6 movies. That's Courtney Cox, who plays Gail Weathers. I noticed a few things in the trailer.
Yeah.
Courtney Cox finally gets a phone call.
She does.
Where the killer calls her. If you watch all of the Screams, Courtney Cox's character, Gail Weathers, never gets called by the killer.
She just always takes the phone from people.
But in this one, she gets a call. So is this going to be the one? Gail survived Scream 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Will Gail Weathers survive Scream 6?
I mean, they say a cat's got 9 lives, and, you know, she's already used at least 5 or 6, maybe 7 of hers.
Yes.
You know, I think she, died almost twice in part 2.
She almost dies in every movie.
It's several times.
She almost dies in every movie. You think she's dead in the first one, the second one. So I hope it's sad. It's like I'm thinking, okay, she needs to go. She needs to die. But then when it gets close to it, I'm like, no.
Well, because that's a staple character.
I did think, though, that having 3 legacy characters was too much.
Yeah.
I think one is always the best because you're the final one, and that's what Sydney is. So I'll get over it if they kill Gail because they've already killed Dewey, who was the 3rd legacy character. They killed him in the last one. I was okay with that because I was thinking 3's too many. I'll be a little salty if they kill Gail.
Well, I mean, especially if they kill Gail and Neve Campbell does not ever choose to reprise the role again.
What's this movie going to do, though? Scream 6, it's the 6th one. What's this movie going to do that's different than the other ones? I was thinking maybe they'll have the killer get away.
Yeah.
Because in all 5 Scream movies, the killer is always revealed in the end.
Yeah.
So this would be interesting to have the killer make it out and not get revealed. It would make people want to tune in for Scream 7.
Oh, absolutely.
So that's something that they could do. I know that they changed up the opening last year when they had, usually in all Scream movies, the opening scene, somebody dies.
Yep.
In this opening scene in the last movie, the person got away.
She did.
So it will be something to see. How do you think that they'll make this movie different?
Ooh, I think that they, we've talked about this a lot. There has not really been a slasher film that has been out that's, caught our interest. They got a whole new generation of people that they can bring in now. So I think they're really going to play to the younger demographic, which is why I think we might get our feelings hurt a little bit because they need to bring in a new audience. So we'll see.
And that never resonated with me when films do that.
Yeah.
When they try to relate to a newer audience. It's us old folks that keep you in business.
Well, I guess they look at it like,
one day we're going to die.
One day we're going to die, and like our kids, and we're going to give them money like our parents gave us.
But Scream 6 does hit theaters in March, and we'll talk definitely more about that when it hits. But ladies and gentlemen, that about wraps up another episode of Off the Cuff with Adam Banks. If you liked what you heard today, you will probably like our previous episode, so check that out on podcast. We are wherever major podcasts can be streamed. You can follow the show on social media at Off the Cuff with Adam Banks. You can follow me, the host, on social media at The Adam Banks. You can follow the co-host on social media at Ambu447. We release new episodes every Thursday from 4 to 5 right here on Radio Lex WLXU 93.9, which means we will be back next week. Same time, same place. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Amber Turner. I'm Adam Banks, and this is Off the Cuff. We'll catch you down the road.